Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, boss?
All right. Are you following this lady by any chance?
Why is she saying you following her?
Huh?
I don't know. Probably because she's high or something. She started just screaming at me.
Okay.
Said she was calling the police, and I was like, all right.
Okay. Was she at the laundromat when you first saw her?
I was coming down this direction, heading south. I had my AirPods in. She yelled something.
I remember where she was when that was. Where on the sidewalk? Where was everybody?
She was over here, I think, walking north. And then I was heading south.
Okay.
She yelled something like, you know, I don't know what she said. I couldn't hear. I had AirPods in. I took them off. I took one out. I turned around. I was like, what's that? And then she said something like, stop following me. You're fucking weirdo. Da 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 da. She just started talking all kinds of crazy shit. And I was like, and she said something, was on the phone with somebody telling them her come pick me up, call the police. And she's like, no, I'm gonna call the police. And then I was like, all right. Well,
do you have ID on you?
Just for right now, I see you have some knives right now. Don't reach for it. I'm gonna grab them right now.
Can you not?
I'm just
Well,
gonna.
what's your reason for
Listen,
taking my knives?
For your safety and my safety, I'm gonna put them right here, all right?
Okay, well,
Do you have ID on you? If not, I'm gonna need your name.
I don't want to give my name.
Okay. Well,
You kind of have to, because you have to identify yourself right now. We're investigating something right now, all right? She's claiming that you're following her, all right? So at this point, you need to identify yourself. If not, you're gonna be arrested for obstruction, okay?
For obstruction,
Obstruction of the
we're
investigation.
investigating a potential crime right now. We need your name.
I feel like there was no crime.
Okay, well, that's what we're trying to determine.
Okay,
So we need your name.
Well, I feel like I don't need to identify. I've done nothing wrong. She said she's calling the police when I took my AirPod out. I waited here for the police to show up, so nobody's saying I'm running and catching me down the road like I'm running.
And we respect that.
Okay.
However, whenever we start to do an investigation, we have to ID everybody.
What are you investigating? There's no there's a woman that's probably high or got some kind of issue.
We talk to her, all right? Now
Okay.
we're talking to you. And she identified herself. Now you need to identify yourself.
What's up, everybody? It's Danny from the Constitution State here today. I hope everybody's having a good day. Today's video comes from Neon Sean. This takes place in Florida, and it involves the St. Petersburg Police Department, and they think a random person can just call and make something up, and they can just show up and detain you for no reason at all. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Say he was walking the direction she was walking, and he's quote-unquote following her, even though he's not. What law is that? Are they going to try and turn it into prowling and stalking? They don't have a crime. We know a call alone isn't enough to detain somebody, so why are they taking his knife off of him?
I don't think I need to identify myself. There was no fucking crime. There's nothing that
That's
happened.
what we're trying to determine. So if you give us your name,
My ID doesn't give you a determination of a crime.
You have to provide identification to law enforcement if we are investigating a crime.
And what's the crime?
She's alleging you were following her.
And even if I was following her, like, I would have to do more than follow somebody. I'd have to be stalking somebody to be a crime. I'm not stalking anybody.
Okay, well, that's what we're trying to determine.
Well, I don't see how my name helps you determine whether or not I'm following somebody.
Listen, whoever we come in contact with, we have to.
That's your policy, is to identify people you come into contact with. It's my Fourth Amendment right to be free of unlawful searches and seizures. You've already seized my knives.
For your safety and our safety as well, all right?
Well, you seized my knife and my flashlight.
We put them at a safe distance, all right?
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
If you are willing to stick around, you should be willing to provide your name.
But I'm not willing to provide my name.
Okay, well, we're investigating a potential crime.
Do you have a supervisor? Is this a supervisor back here?
No.
Appreciate it. What's your name?
Officer Murphy.
Murphy? You have ID number?
50381.
50381. What's your name, boss?
Officer Perez.
Perez?
49626.
49606.
26.
49626.
Yes, sir.
So I'm detained.
For right now, yeah. Listen, you were willing to stick around, so now we're sitting here until your sergeant gets here to talk to you.
Seems like bullshit.
That's what we're trying to determine.
Well,
So what was it that she told you that you said she said something to you?
I don't know what she said at first. I had AirPods in. She said something. I turned around and I was like, what's that? And then she said some shit about she left somewhere because I was there. She went on this spiel about a bunch of stuff. She was on the phone telling somebody, come pick her up, hurry up. She was saying she was waiting for them. She was mostly, it seemed like she was putting on a show for whoever was on the phone. Then she told them, call the police. And I was like, good, you call the police. You know, I ain't going nowhere. Like, and then she was like, you're a fucking weirdo. You're a fucking weirdo. Which direction was I?
Yeah, traveling from?
I was traveling south on 28th Street.
From 28?
I was coming from that direction in the bike lane going this way.
When did you make contact with her?
What do you mean made? What do you mean by made contact?
Where in the street?
It was, she was maybe the first or second house that way. I think like the first house past this store. Might have been where she was walking north or standing there, I'm not sure. And she yelled something like as I was passing. I had to slow down, and I slowed down. I like crossed the road and told her, hold on, I can't hear you, because she was still saying something. I took my AirPod out of this ear and I was like, what's that? And she was on the phone at first saying something to somebody else, and then she was like, and I was like, did you say something to me? And she's like, you're a fucking weirdo, stop following me. I left somewhere else. She didn't say somewhere else, but she said, I didn't see her now. I could barely see her over there. Like, she was like in a shadow. So, you know, I don't know what she looks like.
So you guys were on opposite sides of the street?
I was on that side in the bike lane going that way. She was on the sidewalk. She was on this side on the sidewalk. You think it's right to detain me for this?
We're investigating a crime.
And
We get called out. We're investigating.
And
She's telling us one thing.
And she told you a crime was committed? She said a crime was committed? Did she say she's a victim of a crime? No, well, I'm saying, are you trying to create a crime? Or did she say that a crime was committed?
I'm investigating the story she told me.
And the story, what in her story says I committed a crime? What part of her story said I committed a crime? Or is this just an unlawful detention? Are you just holding me hostage because you want my ID?
Well, you're legally obligated to provide us identification if we're investigating a crime.
Well, if you're creating a crime out of nothing, then
investigating her allegations.
What is her allegation? What is the allegation against me? You don't want to answer? Is it because you're making something up? You're trying to create a crime? Okay, let's say whatever she said, let's say all of it's true. Then she's claiming that I committed a crime against her?
That is what we are investigating.
What do you mean that is what you're investigating? Did she not say I committed a crime against her? I don't understand. I'm not understanding what you're saying. You're investigating something, but what are you investigating? Seems like you're just investigating how long you can stall to try and get my identification from me.
Well, you wanted to talk to a sergeant. That's actually what we're stalling for right now. So once he's here.
Well, that's because you're demanding ID from me, telling me that I'm obligated to give it to you. What's your name, boss?
Bishop.
What is that?
Bishop.
Bishop? Thank you.
Before you saw her down there.
So you're saying that she's saying that I committed a crime?
Huh?
She's saying that something I
We're
did
trying
was
to
a
find
criminal
out
act?
why she's claiming that you're following her, alright? Okay.
Okay, she's claiming I committed a crime against her?
Listen. Before you make contact with her down there, where were you?
Did you just turn your body camera off?
It's on right now.
Did you just now turn it on?
It was on before. I just got here from over there, so I turn it on right now, okay?
So you turned it off when you went over there, then turned it on when you came back over here?
Yeah, I'm not gonna record while I'm walking, okay? Before you make contact with her down the road,
I didn't make contact with anybody.
when you saw her, right? You said you saw her, right? And you were talking to her. That's what you said, right?
Are you saying you're saying you think I committed some kind of crime?
He's gonna go talk to her and then he'll be right back.
Good evening. I'm Acting Sergeant Reeves, who I have the pleasure of speaking with.
My name's Sean. What's going on, boss?
You said your name is
Sean.
Sean?
Yep.
Okay. You requested a supervisor, right?
Sure, they were demanding ID, saying that this lady's alleging I committed a crime against her, or they're investigating something for a crime, and they won't say that she's alleging I committed a crime. They're just saying they're investigating a crime and demanding identification.
Okay. So after I spoke to her, it doesn't sound like she's alleging a crime. Okay. So if you do not want to provide your ID, it's completely fine. You don't have to.
Appreciate it.
The officer is probably going to take a report just because this lady feels weird and she wants to document something. And she'll
Gotcha.
also clear your name and everything. So if you would like to provide your name to her, you can. You're not obligated to. Okay.
I gave my first name. Am I able to get an incident report number? Because y'all will get my name with that. Like,
Yeah, she can give you. You're taking a report on this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She can give you a copy of the, or not the actual report, but she can give you the
the
event
incident report number?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
absolutely.
appreciate it.
So and Sean, is it SHAWN or SHAUN? Because we just want to make sure we're talking about the right one in the report.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. I don't really like my name being put in reports. You know,
Oh,
I
no.
used to get in a lot of trouble around here, right in this neighborhood when I was young. I've been
Okay.
keeping myself out of trouble now and trying to keep my name out of all the reports.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know,
Yeah, no problem. I mean, there's no crime. You're not being detained, so you're free to go if you want. We do suggest if you want to have the incident number,
appreciate it. Thank you,
Alright.
boss.
Yep.
Is it yes on the report number?
Yeah, can I get the report number?
Did you want my badge number written down too?
It's all right. I got the video.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night, sir.
You too.
34160.
And what was wrong with that female cop? This guy comes up, asks him if he was following that lady and what's going on. She jumps out. Oh, why are you following that lady? You following that lady? Like, lady, shut up. One person at a time. You always hear police whining about, oh, one at a time, one person talk at a time. Yet they do this. They act like this. Makes sense, right? They are the worst hypocrites. ID. She doesn't even know what it takes to get someone's ID lawfully. She thinks her department's policy somehow is the law when it's clearly not. All of these imbeciles on scene are lucky that a manager showed up and did the right thing, because not one of them out of the bunch was smart enough to know that the guy actually wasn't doing anything wrong, and you don't have to ID anytime a cop asks. But you hear how smug they are. Oh, well, if you don't, then you're going to be obstructed, and I'm going to take you to jail. You're going to take them to jail for not obstructing? Is that what you mean? And they'll literally threaten law-abiding citizens with arrest over nothing, over their rights, over stuff you don't have to do. I think it's clear police in America as a whole is failing and has been for quite a long time. And it's weird how everybody knows that and they're taking no steps to get any better. They're actually going backwards. They just keep getting worse and worse. And I think that's a good indication that they're not actually there for the public or to help the public. They're just there to take as much as they can from us. And remember, people, do not help these fools investigate you. Do not help them do their job. Because with whatever information you give them, they're instantly going to turn around and use it against you. So stop doing their job for them. And did this fool really say he turned his body camera off when he went over to talk to the other people, and then he turned it back on when he got over here? Why would he do that? Say there was charges filed, right? He would never know what they talked about over there, what the lady said, what the cop said, nothing. And this is why cops should not be able to shut their body cameras on and off. They shouldn't be able to mute them. It should be against the law. Nothing good comes out of them muting their body camera. So why are they allowed to do it? Oh, because the departments and the unions give them every tool they need to be as corrupt and bad as they can be, and to ensure that they'll still be able to do this on a daily basis. If we started requiring body cameras to stay on while they're on a call, imagine how much more trouble these guys would be getting in. Like I said, luckily this manager showed up. I mean, they already messed up by detaining this man for absolutely nothing, but they would have made it 10 times worse if they actually arrested him. Well, possibly made it worse. Most of the times they bury it so good and they make it so hard to actually hold them accountable, they rarely actually get held accountable. And even if they do, it's not to the same standard that me or you would be if we went out and kidnapped somebody. It's not even a slap on the wrist. It's a department violation. We talk to them for 5 minutes. That's what they get. And say they get suspended, right? They get paid time off. Oh, that's real trouble, guys. I wonder why they keep acting like they do over and over. What other career can you be in and be absolutely horrible at your job and still get promotions and still have a job? Public service. But I thought this was crazy, guys. An investigation with no crime, an illegal detainment, and cops spewing off obstruction and this and that when they don't even know what they're talking about clearly. And I thought people should see this. So let me know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments. Go check his channel out, and I'll see you guys on the next one.